those areas I'm talking about. Canteen. Anybody that is operating a canteen inside the major market is a target, because if fire is going to occur from that market, it is very, very likely the fire will occur from that place. Any shop that is using generator is a target. So we can place a law. We can just sit down like this and give a standard, a law, that anybody that is operating a canteen must have a fire extinguisher. That is one. Another thing is to make sure everybody shuts down the light, or maybe there is no naked fire at night. Those people that are operating canteen, they are fond of cultivating the habit of anytime they are going on, they will put maize or beans. They will put beans on fire and put something inside it so that the thing will be burning gradually. So by the time they come in the morning, they will meet it done. It's a bad habit. All of them, they are used to that. You give them a law. At night, you do not want to see any naked fire. Anybody that is found guilty, then you punish him. You punish him or her. That is one. Secondly, we can do it like this. Let's make sure that the fire from the NEPA, we have a control that before the light will go into any shop, there is a control that will control all the lights in the market. So whenever you are going in, you switch it off. We call it port-out switch. You switch it off from the main. So by the time you come in the morning, then you can switch it on. So those are the little things we can do as an association like this. Now let me now go back a little bit and let's discuss fire. What is fire? To a layman, you can say fire is just a process of burning. Yes, it is acceptable, but it is more than that. It is more than that because you are opportuned to see a fireman that will expatiate and tell you further and discuss with you. But if you say that to a layman, to somebody that does not know anything about fire, fine, it is okay. But fire is more than that. As a fireman, if I want to define fire or explain fire, I will say fire is the rapid combination of two or more combustible substances with the evolution of heat and light in the presence of oxygen. Now, what I'm saying now is telling you that fire does not just occur. Fire can occur with a combination of one or two things. And what are those things? From my definition, we can deduce three statements or three things or three elements. We call it elements of combustion. Heat, oxygen, and fuel. Those are the three things. Fire does not occur just like that. If fire is able to see one of the three elements, then that fire will burn. Now, let me come back a little bit. If I want to ask, is there something that cannot burn? Can somebody tell me that thing you know cannot burn, or that thing you know cannot be consumed by fire? Okay, sir.
Iron.
And iron cannot be consumed by fire. Clap for me. Okay, sir. Water cannot be consumed by fire. Clap for that too. Somebody again. Okay, sir.
In my own understanding, there's nothing that cannot be consumed by fire.
Thank you very much. Clap for him very well. The person that says water cannot be consumed by fire, Oga that says, what did you say? Water cannot be consumed by fire. It is wrong. Everything can be consumed by fire. There's nothing on this earth that cannot be consumed by fire. Atẹ́gùn can be consumed by fire. Everything God made, God created, can be consumed by fire. It only depends. The degree at which substance A can be consumed by fire is different from the degree at which substance B can be consumed by fire. I hope you are getting me. For example, an iron will be consumed by fire when it is subjected to temperature of 800 degrees centigrade and above. Water will be consumed when it is subjected to temperature at 100 degrees and above. Cement will be consumed by fire when it is subjected to temperature of 1000 degrees centigrade and above. Everything has its own price. Everything can be consumed by fire. We have seen a situation whereby human being has been burnt to ashes. In other words, everything we have in this place, this hall, are fuel, including human being. I hope you are getting me. So now, let's get it straight. Everything can be consumed by fire. And fire is a good servant. Is a servant of God. There's nothing we can do. We can't pray against fire. We can't say, for God, we don't want to see fire again. How will you eat? There's no fire. How will you be able to make use of your phone? How will you be able to make use of your motor, of your car? Everything that surrounds us has to do with fire. Whether our phone, handset, we make use of fire one way or the other. So we can't pray that we don't want to see fire. It's just that we need to know how to manage fire. How you are getting me? We must be able to manage fire, because fire is a good servant, is a servant of God, and fire is our friend if we manage it properly. At the same time, fire is our enemy if we do not manage it properly. I hope I'm communicating. Now, let me go back to the element of combustion. We said fuel. Those are the things we can see. Free burning materials, plastic, human being, iron, anything you can name is fuel. Temperature is the degree and attainment of certain degrees of temperature of a substance. So when something is subjected to heat, then the temperature will rise. Then as a result, fire will occur. Here, if you are able to see it when something is has gotten hot to a particular temperature, then just try and blow it, then you see fire. Blow, application of air will bring out fire from that one. So those are the three elements. Now, fighting fire. If you want to fight fire, if you are able to take one of the elements of combustion, then you'll be able to bring out the fire, you'll be able to quench the fire. That is where we are now, at element of extinction. Don't forget, elements of combustion, we have three. We have heat, fuel, and air. Elements of extinction now, we have smothering, we have cooling, and we have starvation. Cooling is application of water. When something is too hot, when you apply water, then the temperature will go down, and that substance will not burn again. That is cooling. Starvation, that thing that is food, starving, just starve that thing. Make sure that thing is not applicable. Make sure there's no room for air to get into that thing. That is starvation. Bring out that food away from that place. Then smothering is making sure there's no air in that environment where something is burning. That is why we make use of our foam compound. Whenever we have petroleum spillage, we make use of foam compound. We blanket the area. When we blanket the area, the volatile substance will not be able to come out in order to catch fire. So if that one is unable to come out to catch fire, then there will not be a room for that substance to burn. Now, what are the causes of fire? Well, let me quickly brief about the causes of fire. The kind of fire occurrence we expect from a shop of a person that is selling clothes is different from the kind of fire we expect from the shop of a person that is selling plastic. It's not the same type of fire we expect from somebody that is selling petrol and so on like that. Classes of fire. We have about 4. The Igbo people have tried for us. They've classed it into 4. Class A fire is free burning materials. That is where we have wood, cloth, and so on and so forth. Class B fire is the type of fire that has to do with high volatile liquid like petrol, gas, diesel, and so on and so forth. Now, class A fire, we make use of ordinary water to quench class A fire. Class B fire, we make use of powder to quench class B fire, or we can make use of foam compound. Then class C fire is the type of fire that has to do with metals, iron. Then we make use of our powder to quench class C fire. Now, when fire is burning in a particular place, if one is not knowledgeable enough and you put water or you put another thing to quench that fire, that thing you are trying, that substance you are trying to use to quench the fire might be a fuel to that fire. It can be a medium by which you can quench fire in another place, but it may be a fuel in another place. For example, when cement is burning and you apply water, you are adding salt to injury, because what you are going to see is explosion. So that means that is not the proper thing to use to quench that type of fire. I don't want to bother you much. I don't want to go deep into the work, but I only want to come to the surface so that it will not be too boring for you. This is where we are going. Causes of fire. What are the major causes of fire, especially in the market? Use of multiple sockets is one of the major causes. The standard is one thing, plug it in at a point, like that point now. If you want to charge, just take a single phone and plug it there and charge it. Make use of multiple sockets. It is not advisable and it is not good. Now, if you don't have a choice, if you want to use it, plug it, sit down there. Because at a particular point, that multiple socket will get hot, and anything that is bringing out heat will eventually catch fire, whether now or later. I hope I'm communicating. And I also want to let you know that everything in this world expires. Human being will expire too. I hope you know that. Why? The way you were 5 years ago is different from the way you are now. You can't compare my own age with that brother. What I can do, he may not be able to do it because he's older. At the same time, we have some other people that are older than him, that when they were younger, they can do it very well. But because they are aging, they cannot do it. Like that, till we reach our peak. That is when we die. When somebody dies, the person is expired now. So that philosophy is also applicable to all our wires in the house, our building itself. Our building can age to the extent that if care is not taken, it will collapse. We maintain everything. So I want you to cultivate that habit in fire too. Your wiring the house, please, and wiring the shop, put it at the back of your mind that Nigerian wire and cable is the best in the whole world. Why? Because of our weather. They use our weather to produce it, and our weather is very, very harsh. We have some places that are extremely hot. We have some places that are extremely cold. We have some places that are normal, average. It is not like that in other places. It's either they have hot weather or they have cold weather. But here in Nigeria, we have everything. Go to Maiduguri, you will not know that you are in Nigeria. Go to Jos, you will not know that you are in Nigeria. And some places like that. When I was doing my NYSC, I did it in Yola. It's another place entirely. You won't know you are in this country. Now, Nigerian wire and cable that is the best wire in the whole world can last 25 years, plus or minus. In other words, what I'm saying is, if you do wire of your house, if you do wiring in your house, after 25 years, if you don't have any problem, call an electrician to check everything. Plus or minus means it can extend beyond 25 years, and it may not be up to 25 years. But at 25 years, make sure you check it very well. How do you know if your wire is due for change, or if there is impending danger in your shop or in your house? Number one, whenever you notice that your light is distorting, whenever there is light now, the light will full come down, below will full will come down, then you need to check your wire of the shop, because it may be when you are not there, the thing will eventually catch fire. Mark it. Another thing is, whenever you discover that wire is a little bit hot, when there is light, just go and feel it, touch it. You discover that it's bringing out heat gradually. Then that wire needs to be changed. Is either it has expired, or it is not a good wire, or it has problem one way or another. Whenever you notice there is sound when you are charging, when you plug your whatever in the socket, and you don't notice the thing is packing, I hope you are getting me now. That means that socket is not good. One day it may catch fire. Like that. So what I'm saying is, let us be very, very vigilant as a shop owner, and don't let us depend on the government. Don't depend on the fire service. Let's make room for training and retraining. Let's make sure we have fire extinguisher in our various shops. Some people are having goods worth 1 million in a shop, and they cannot have only one extinguisher. Only one extinguisher. A brand new extinguisher is 10,000. Fairly used is 7,000 or 8,000. Just to place one in the shop, and not to have it alone. You must be able to know how to use it. Having it alone is not enough. We must be able to use it, to know how to use it. Like what happened in Caretaker in 2018, January 2nd. I can never forget that. That was the day I was deployed to Ogbomoso. I assumed work in Ogbomoso. I assumed the position in Ogbomoso. We met a bad fire engine, and the fire started. Right in my presence like this. Now the person, supposing the person has a fire extinguisher, at least one, immediately he noticed it. Instead of rushing to go to call fire service, he just bring out the fire extinguisher and just to fight it, and that's all. Another thing that can cause fire outbreak is whenever you are refueling your generator and hold your handset. There's a relationship between an handset and the fume of the petrol or the gas. There's a big relationship between the two of them. There's something we call electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic wave is the carrier of the information to the mast. It is invisible, you can't see it. So the nearest mast will take it to the nearest mast and bring it to the other person's phone, even if that person is in America or anywhere in the world. Now, when that phone is with you, there is a communication in the air. The gas itself, it has a kind of wave. Newton's first law of motion says, unlike charges attract, like charges repel. So when something repel, it means when something connect with each other, it will repel. So that gas, fume, and that electromagnetic wave, they are not friends. The moment they come in contact with each other, they bring out fire. And the fire is such that you can't explain it. Some people will say, witches and wizards are at work. They are saying that because they can't see it. But science has proved it that it is real, that it's not witches, it's not wizards. It's just for you to be knowledgeable enough and to know that anywhere you find gas, anywhere you find petrol, take away your phone away completely from that place. I hope I'm communicating. So please, when we get to the house, let us tell our wives too. The habit of taking phone to taking handsets to the kitchen is bad. You may be doing it, they may be doing it for so long and go away with it. One day may be one day. I pray it will not happen to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Another thing is smoking. There are some people that cannot do that. I hope I'm not taking your time. Can I continue? Smoking. Some people will be smoking. How many minutes smoking? Just 5 minutes, sorry. Okay, I won't spend it. About 5 minutes. Some people they cultivate the habit of smoking in the key. They smoke without having cigarettes stopped. It's not good. Anybody that is a smoker, tell him if he come to your shop, ask him where is your cigarette stopped. If you don't have, please don't want smoking in my shop. Because the person after smoking, after he finish smoking, he will drop it. And when you drop it, it may be after 2-3 hours, that thing will not die. That fire, that thing will just bring out little smoke. At the end of the day, when there is enough breeze, it will just catch fire. That might be when you are not there. It might be when nobody is there, when you thought, okay, no problem. So whenever you want to smoke, or anybody that is around you, let him or her get a cigarette stop. We call it cigarette stop. Oyibo people do now, you cannot never see them smoking anyhow. When they finish, that is where they put the ashes. And whenever they finish smoking, they will put it there. They have a way, they know how they used to quench to put it so that thing will not affect anybody and the smoke will just go like that. Then your gas. We discovered that now gas has been a thing that is in vogue now. Anybody that is not using gas in his house is not in line with or in conformity with what is happening around the world. Everybody uses gas now. I'm telling you now that there is not going to be a problem in the future, but we need to be very, very careful because I don't know what the future holds for us. Gas cylinder can spend like 20, they said between 25 and 30 years maximum. We must change it. But do you know that the people that manufacture the gas cylinder, they're supposed to write the date of the manufacture on the cylinder. And if they write the date of the manufacture, they're supposed to write the expiry date on the cylinder as well. But when they produce it in mass, we discovered that they were unable to sell it for several years. They now see Nigeria or Africa as a dumping ground. They bring everything to the country. They did not write it. It was the first generation of cylinder that you can see the date of manufacturing and the date of expiry. Recently, they raised the date of the manufacturing and they raised the date of expiry. The date it will expire. You just bring it down here. Do you know what they now did? They now write it there. It must be checked every 5 years. Because why? Because even some of the cylinder has expired in the store before they bring it to the country. Whose fault? Government. There is an agency that's supposed to manage that. But don't let us go into that. What we are saying is, what we are preaching is, your own safety is your own responsibility. Don't depend on anybody. Don't depend on the government. How do you check if your cylinder is expired? Put soap in water. Use spray or foam or brush to spray it around your cylinder. Take a distance. Use your eyes, your ear, visually look at it very well. Whenever you see that it's giving you sound or it's giving you bubbles, that means that cylinder is expired. It is not good. The only thing you can do at that particular point in time is to discard it. Don't repair it. Cylinders are not repairable. Don't ever try to repair your gas cylinder. It is not repairable. Gas cylinder is an explosive material. If it explodes, it will cover everything between 200 meters far and wide. And anything that is living thing around that place will be consumed, and everybody around that place will die. Gas cylinder cannot be repaired. Now, some people are very smart, they can smell. If you enter your house, 5 minutes, wait, okay. Let me stop here. If you enter your house or your kitchen and you notice gas is already smelling in the kitchen, what do you do? That is where I'm going to place it for now. It is not a seminar. It is just, the program is just a sensitization and to have a kind of rapport with you. So at the end of the day, I will leave fire service phone number with you. That is our hotline. I will leave my own personal phone with you. The fire service number is what you must have. If you now call them and they are unable to, maybe network or one problem or the other, you can now call me. Anywhere I can, I know what to do. I hope I'm getting it. So now, perhaps you come into your house now and you discover there is gas leakage in your house. You are smelling gas. What do? First step, open the door gently. The door, every door has a hook which is iron. There must not be spark on that hook. That is why you must open it gently. Do not switch on the light. If you switch on the light, there is a kind of heat that normally comes from the light. We have experienced a situation whereby some people are entering their house, gas is leaking, and when they put on something like this, there is an explosion. So some people will not be able to reason, it is the handwork of the witch and wizard in our village. No, it is because they don't know what to do. Immediately you notice gas is smelling in your house or in your kitchen. That is what you will do. Do not on any light. Open the door gently. Gently and quietly move to the valve. Close the valve. Open all windows. Do not on the fridge and do not open your fridge. If you open your fridge, we can experience a kind of cool breeze, and that cool breeze reaction with gas can also catch fire. It is complex. That is why we need to come out and let you know those are the things, the invisible things that do happen. There are some people will say, we don't know what caused this fire. What happened? Some people are after me, some witches are after me, some wizards are after me. Those are the invisible things that can cause fire in your house. After that, make sure you do not on anything, you do not open anything, you do not do anything down. Open the door gently. Do not switch on the light. Do not open the fridge. Do not switch on. Do not even switch off. At that time, the moment you are able to off the valve, open all windows gently. Then move out and wait for like 1 hour. All the gas will now go gradually. And after about 1 hour, you can now come in and do your normal activities. And what do? Bring out the gas, take it to the nearest vendor, or do the visual check I told you. Put soap in water, pour it on it. You can use brush to brush it. The way the organizer used to do when they are checking our tires, you can also do it too. So the moment you notice there is a kind of sand or a foam, that foam is forming, that means that cylinder is bad. Whenever your cylinder is bad, do not attempt to repair your cylinder. Do not paint your cylinder. Do not solder your cylinder. Whenever you notice your cylinder is bad, bring it out, discard it, and buy a new one. Thank you.